Hey, everybody, welcome to today's call. I don't know if you can, there you go. I am somehow still fighting this cold for the last month. So I'm excited to have so many people coming on, and we will begin in just a minute. What I wanted to do is take a second. Thank you guys for being here. I know it's kind of an unorthodox time, but my schedule has been has been so crazy lately, and I appreciate the time swing for everybody. So you guys know this. Since basically 1996, I've been doing local marketing in one way or another. And my my beginnings before that were like domain swapping. I did a couple products on AOL, right? And uh, and then I dabbled in a little e-com, and I had some issues, and it was never my baby, right, so to speak. But I've done a few other things that have really allowed me to kind of grow my revenue stream pretty strong. The different revenue. Got David Perkins on the West Coast. When you're in California, I guess 5 o'clock's a good time, Dave, right? Um, yeah, Bud, no doubt. Today, if you still can, Bud Clark. Yeah, it's just been really hard. I've been in and out of doctors' offices and you name it, right? So I uh, I looked at 2016, 17, and 18, and I'm piecing together a strategy. And David Perkins, who's here, and I actually talked about this the other day, just adding buckets of revenue. I'm trying to get to the semi-retired place like guys like Jeff Smith and a few others live in, and I want to get to that point where I can just kind of unplug if I wanted for a couple weeks, a month or two even. I can go on a vacation, and Vanessa and the team run the show, and they do a fabulous job. Kudos to them. But what I'm trying to do is build these buckets of revenue, these cash flow streams, so to speak, that allow me to kind of do that at a larger scale, right? So one of the things I'm doing involves affiliate marketing. And, I'll share that down the road. It involves cold traffic and affiliate marketing. But another thing I'm doing, and I'm super excited about because it's kind of solved a lot of the issues I've had in the e-com space, which have to do with overseas suppliers and honestly Amazon and Amazon FBA. I just had some challenges. So I want to do something today. You've gotten my emails for a few days. Vanessa's done a fabulous job. She's been sending them out. What I want to do, though, is take the next step. I want to show you guys. I'm going to bring on two friends that I've worked with for quite a while now. And what I'm going to do is I want to give you this model that you can implement. I want to show you examples without the traditional headaches and roadblocks that everybody has. All those e-com guys you've been hearing about for the last decade, ask them what their profit margin is. Ask them about their headaches. We can talk about that another time. What you're going to love is the simplicity and the profit. And I think this fits my goal of stacking different revenue sources, right? I want as many checks as I can get, but I love different buckets of recurring income. So with that, I'm going to bring out two friends of mine, and I think you guys will find this to be ingenious. So just kind of keep an open mind. They are going to make an offer. You don't have to take it if you don't want. I want you to check it out and just kind of put it past your sanity check, your sanity test for where your business is and what you're looking for. So I want to introduce, and we'll get into it. I'm going to introduce Aiden Booth and Stephen Clayton. And when I do, I want you guys to pay really good attention because there's only a handful of people that I have, the highest level respect for that truly bring their best stuff. These guys do very few launches, very few products. Everything is around high volume and winning. And I'm very excited to work with them and mastermind with them. So with that being said, Aiden, Steven, with no further ado, go ahead and take it away, and we'll come back on, you guys, and I'm going to answer questions at the end as well. So thank you.
Thanks for that intro, and welcome everyone to this special workshop that we have got for you here today, where we're going to be talking about the system that we've used to make over $76,000 in just 24 hours selling super simple, high profit products without needing to worry about Amazon, without needing to worry about Facebook, without placing any large inventory orders, using any overseas suppliers, or so many of the other headaches that have plagued e-commerce sellers forever. So your hosts today, hopefully some of you will know us, many of you will know us already. That's me on the left there, Aidan Booth. I'm from New Zealand originally, grew up on a sheep and beef farm in rural New Zealand, and I've lived in Buenos Aires, Argentina for about the last 15 years. And I got started online in 2005 because I was searching for geographic freedom. I met my now wife on a ski trip in the United States, and I decided that I wanted to go to Argentina, but I had no way of making money, couldn't speak Spanish, so I turned online, and that's when my sort of journey with online business began, and it's been the best thing that I ever did. Now, Steve, you come from a completely different background. Why don't you share that with everyone here today?
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you guys who don't know me, this is sort of my second career, depending on how you count it. I did a whole stint in corporate, even though I was a frustrated entrepreneur the whole time. So I did, darn near 18 years in corporate, and was a chief information officer for a public company. And I ended my corporate career as a VP for a Fortune 500 company. I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot, but I had a lot of financial freedom. They pay you pretty well when you have a job like that. But I had zero time freedom, zero geographic freedom, and I was, really, really unhappy. And I just knew that in order to be just to be my best self, in order to be happy, I knew I had to try and go out on my own. So, damn near 15 years ago now, started building online businesses, became a serial entrepreneur. And I always like to say I haven't had a real job since, and it's been a fantastic journey, one that I hope I can help you guys take as well.
Yeah, and look, the reason that we share this information is because if you're going to be sitting here with us for the next hour or so listening to us, I think it's important that you know a little bit about who we are. We've got 30 years of combined experience online at this point. We've helped thousands of students. We've got thousands of student success stories as well. And I think one of the most important things for you to know is that what we're talking about here today, this is not theory. Everything that we're sharing with you is real, in the trenches strategy that we use on a daily basis. So we've got lots of good stuff here. So right before we officially dive in, just your checklist, we want to make sure that you are 100% tuned in, because it's not every day you get the opportunity to be on a workshop, which I think is pretty important, like this one. So log out of Facebook, social media, Instagram, put your phone on silent, and get comfortable, because if you're ready, we are ready. And just do me a favor, type "I'm ready" into the chat box. And with that said, once I can see at least half of the people here typing "I'm ready," we are gonna dive in. I want to make sure you guys are engaged. So type "I'm ready" into the question box. And with that said, we are gonna dive in. Okay, looks like people are ready. So let's dive in here, guys. Here's what we are talking about today. It's a breakthrough system, a quantum leap forward in the world of selling products online, and how we've used it to generate $1.18 million in just 30 days. You're going to see the secret toolbox that we're using to run the system to make thousands of dollars every single day like clockwork. You're going to see astonishing results. You're going to see why this is no longer a game of chance, how you can control everything, and how this works faster than anything we've seen in the past. And you can see another screenshot there, $76,993. That's in just 24 hours. That's what's at stake here today. You're going to see a tester website, real case studies that show that newbies can make this work. A simple site run by a tester which generated $140,000 in sales. Less than 1 hour to get set up. You're going to see results live. You'll see the kinds of products we're selling to make this kind of money. And I think the most important thing is you're going to see how simple all of this is. We've got huge student proof to show you to the tune of $128,000 per month. That's not one of our screenshots. That's a student screenshot. 9,800 orders, 500th order. These are people that have come in with no previous experience and are earning amazing incomes. We've got a lot of incredible success stories to share with you. And I think it's also important to know that many of the the traditional obstacles have been completely eliminated. So there's no Amazon involved. There's no Facebook advertising. There's no inventory that you need to buy up front. There's no dealing with China. There's no importing from China. This is very different, I think, to what anyone here would have seen before. And you can use it to create an immediate positive cash flow. And as I keep coming back to, it really is breathtakingly simple. And you're going to see how simple it is when Steve gets into the nitty-gritty details in a few moments' time here. Plus, at the end of the workshop, we've got a gift for everyone. So stick around until the very end. We've got a gift worth $297, and we'll give you a special link to where you can download that at the end of the workshop here. And with that said, Steve, it's probably a good time for you to jump in now. I can see your screen has popped up, so take it away. I should also mention, guys, if you have just joined us, come say hello in the question box, make sure that is working. And we've got some of our team here behind the scenes. We want you to ask questions. That's what this is all about. We want to make sure you get your questions answered. So, Steve, I'm going to put myself on mute now, and you can take it away.
Yep, absolutely. So here we are, 2020, and what Aiden said this the other day, which just completely blew me away. He's like, dude, you realize like in a couple of days, almost 10% of 2020 is already over. So, I mean, yes, we just turned the corner, but I still think we all want to have this sense of urgency. And I suspect that if you're listening to my voice right now, what you want to be doing is building your own business. So what are the options that people look at if they're new, or if they already have, maybe one small business online and they want to expand? These are probably the most popular. They're probably the most popular for the reason that they are the easiest, quote unquote, to get involved in. Many variations of e-commerce are probably the absolute easiest. There are other models for sure, but I suspect that every one of you at least knows something about these models. Or you've tried them, Amazon FBA, or Amazon private label, where you have your own product, Amazon wholesale, where you are buying products from wholesalers, you're buying other people's products like Rubbermaid trash cans, and you're selling those on Amazon. Affiliate marketing, where you're actually doing the advertising and marketing other people's products, and then you make a commission. Designing and developing and then selling information products. So, again, these are probably the four models that people think about most of the time when they're just starting out. And look, we love them all. We've been doing this a really long time. I don't think that there's an online business model that we don't do. We don't do a lot of Kindle anymore, but that's about the only thing. And these models are all good. So I am not here to suggest that any one of them individually suck. We've built big businesses out of every single one of these models, and they can produce huge profits. We do 7 figures in all of them. But listen, the one thing that we've learned over and over again, with over a decade of teaching students and teaching tens of thousands of them, is that the most common reason that people give up is that they fail to see results quickly enough, and it's kind of human nature. That's not a criticism. I think we can all fit into that. And all of the business models that we were just talking about have obstacles that make some of them, kind of notoriously difficult, and can take, many months for the effort that goes into them to sort of materialize into sales or cash flow or success, depending on how you define that. I mean, if you think about Amazon FBA and Amazon private label, same thing, where you're actually designing and manufacturing a product. You need a lot of capital for that, because typically you're buying 500, 1,000, sometimes 2,000 units. A lot of upfront time and effort goes into designing the product, testing the product, finding a manufacturer, and then shipping these goods often by sea. And so now that alone could take 60, 90 days. It takes a long, long time before you can start to actually design a product, get it built, buy enough of them, get it to Amazon, get it sold, and so on and so forth. Cash flow is the biggest downside of that business model. Now, if you look at the Amazon wholesale model, that kind of corrects the biggest problem, because it is a very, very quick cash flow model. However, You know, the legal side of this can be a bit of a nightmare. You know, you need to figure out and navigate reseller certificates, licenses, corporate setups, particularly if you're outside of the United States, it can be a roadblock. And overall, the Amazon ecosystem, and this applies both for FBA and for wholesale, the Amazon ecosystem, I personally think, is reaching the point where I do think it's going to pivot in the next couple of years. But you know, you're getting to the point where the Amazon fees and the competition and some of the complexity of the traffic within that ecosystem are making this making a lot of barriers really to entry for people. And if you think about affiliate marketing, again, from a time perspective, you know, there's a lot of great cash flow. There's a lot of good things about all these models. But the biggest problem here is that you often have to, you know, kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince, to use that wonderful metaphor. Because, you know, finding a great offer that you know how to convert, that you can build a sales funnel for, that's stable, that's evergreen, you know, takes some time. Maybe you have to run through 4 or 5 of them. Maybe you get lucky in the first one, but you can't count on that, right? So, and this could be a great place to start, but at the end of the day, you know, no matter how well you do with affiliate marketing, you're actually really only building someone else's business because you don't own the product. And then if you think about information products, look, you know, there's huge amounts of effort and cost that go into, you know, designing training courses or, you know, video series, PDFs, whatever it is, software. And then you have to worry about all of the marketing, sales material, copywriting, you know, your own affiliate materials. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of things that need to go into it before you can start to see results. So of course, again, I want to stress, I am not here to bash all these business models. We love them. We do all of them. And these obstacles can all be overcome, right? But 2 issues. One is, how long is it going to take you? Because, you know, it's really, really important. In fact, I would argue the most important thing to have early success. That's the one takeaway that we've learned after doing this for so long. The other thing to think about with all of these models is there's one make or break factor for not just all of these models, but for every single model, and that is traffic. And traffic is becoming it's always been a concern, right? It's obviously because it's always a make or break issue for any business model. However, we'll talk about some of the reasons why it's becoming, you know, more and more of a challenge and more of an obstacle. You know, but traffic is the one thing, you know, that's key to everything. If you don't have traffic, I don't care how good everything else is, you're not going to do well. So we're in kind of a weird paradox now. I've said this before, and it is never more true than right this very moment in time. As marketers, we are in the absolute best time in the history of mankind as it relates to being able to get traffic, get incredibly targeted traffic, get you know, traffic with high commercial intent, and get it at a reasonable price. The problem, though, is what's happening is the price that we're paying for that, you know, incredible opportunity is complexity. Facebook, Amazon, Google AdWords, and SEO, which are really the 4, you know, big guys. These are the places where if you don't get traffic from at least, you know, one of these sources, you know, it's going to be a problem. These guys are becoming more and more complicated, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we discuss kind of what the solution to that problem is in a couple of minutes. But I'm sure that anybody here who's done any Facebook traffic, any Amazon pay-per-click, any Google AdWords, any SEO, you guys understand 10 years ago, it was cake. 5 years ago, it was easy. 2 years ago, yeah, it's okay. And now, for some reasons that we'll talk about, it is very, very challenging. Not to say that that's an obstacle that can't be overcome, because we all do, but it is not a place where I want a beginner to wade in. Now, I've got some other traffic sources that are a little bit easier to play with, but honestly, these are, you know, you would think about these more as like gravy traffic sources. These are not the ones that you want to build the foundation of traffic. They are perfectly reasonable, good traffic sources, and we use them, but they're not going to, you've got to nail something on this list or something that takes the place of something on that list in order to be successful. So I don't even have to ask, because I know that you've struggled, you know, getting traffic before. And here's the good news: the system that we're sharing with you guys today uses a secret traffic source. It's a secret hiding out in plain sight, quite frankly. It's immediate, it's targeted, it's reliable, it's easy to get, it's predictable, it's scalable. But I think the issue is, remember I was talking about, we can get a lot of traffic, we can get it cheap, we can get it highly targeted or with high commercial intent. And I said, but the trade-off is complexity. So what I submit to you is the traffic source that we're using, that we're talking about today, gives you all of those good things without the complexity. And when I say without the complexity, I mean it goes from like 11 on a scale of 1 to 10 to 0, you know, with this traffic source. And we'll show you what it is and a little bit more information. But if you get rid of those obstacles, then it just further aligns with this objective of start earning faster, get those, you know, early runs on the board, right? So let's talk, I'm just gonna take a quick drink. E-commerce has evolved quite a bit. We've been on quite a journey. You know, really it started, you know, even before 2007. But, you know, back in 2007, we were, and we kind of did a jump here on this slide because there's a lot here. But there was a whole period of time where you couldn't do drop shipping even prior to that. You had to, or at least you had to find special suppliers and sort of beg them to drop ship and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, pretty much we solved that problem. And so we had a great, you know, system way back then. You're talking about now amazingly more than a decade ago. And we had search engine optimization as traffic. We had AdWords to traffic as traffic. We owned the store, we owned the customer information, and we didn't have to make big inventory orders because we had relationships with suppliers, and we basically drop shipped. So we only bought from the supplier when we had an order from a customer, and life was good, you know. But the problem is that over time, SEO and AdWords became much more difficult and much more expensive. So it sort of drove us into the Amazon white label model. So here, and again, it was really to solve the traffic problem and some of the done-for-you logistics, you know. But what you'll see in this evolution, I think the theme is that each point where we evolve, we sort of solved some of the problems, but perhaps introduced new ones. You know, as we moved into Amazon, we started to, you know, run into the issue of Amazon holding all the cards, Amazon owning all the customer information, us having to buy all of our inventory up front, the incredible competition, the Amazon fees that keep growing and growing, right? And the complexity within the Amazon ecosystem to get traffic. And really, you have to do your own Amazon SEO. You have to do your own Amazon AdWords, you know, just Amazon pay-per-click. And so we solved some problems, we introduced some new ones, and then we were like, okay, well, let's try and solve some of those problems. So we moved out of Amazon in 2016, and we moved back to more of a dropship order, but still using China and using Facebook traffic, right? Because at that point, it was a lot easier to get Facebook traffic. We use Shopify as a platform, and again, that solved lots of problems for us. You know, we didn't have to buy the inventory up front. We had a great source of traffic. It was pretty easy, but it introduced some new ones. Not the least of which was the product delivery being slow because it was from China, and then all of a sudden, Facebook started to get much more complicated. So we'll sort of get to that in a minute. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we moved over to, and by the way, when I say we moved over, we still do all of these things. The idea here is that we're trying to come up with the way, as we evolve here, we're trying to come up with the easiest path, the path of least resistance for people to build, you know, stable, you know, big online businesses and to get early success. Okay, that's kind of our whole, that's what's driving the evolution here. And as we moved into 2018, we got into Amazon wholesale, and we solved some problems and introduced, you know, some new ones. Not the least of which was now we're back on Amazon, and we sort of inherited those same problems. Which, oh, by the way, in a 5-year span, they got worse as far as the ability to get traffic, to compete, and the costs. So this is a long way of saying our journey to 2020, which is, you know, we decided a year or so ago look, we are going to move to a model. We're going to do some research. We ended up going even to Japan to do that. We're going to move to a model where we're not going to make these trade-offs anymore. We're not going to solve some problems and introduce some new ones. We're just going to solve all the damn problems. So the challenge for us, and I think where we've succeeded, is in 2020, with the model that we're talking about here today, the Kibo code, we have solved all of the problems that we have introduced over these evolutions, and we have not introduced any new ones. That is my argument to you. And that's why, this is very different, it's unique, it's revolutionary. Again, this is, on the theme of just trying to solve all these problems. You don't need a product of your own, you don't need Facebook as a traffic source, you don't need Amazon or an Amazon account, you don't need to worry about company setups, the legal aspects, the admins. You don't have to worry about even the sales tax issue started to become problematic within Amazon, because all of a sudden Amazon, because of who they are, required you to start to collect sales tax almost from everywhere because they had a nexus everywhere. Don't worry if you don't understand that. We might talk a little bit about that later, but the bottom line is our new model solves that problem. So it gets rid of all these admin permissions, licenses, reseller certificates. You don't need any of that. Gets rid of overseas suppliers, gets rid of the need to buy inventory up front, and it gets rid of the need to be in the United States. This is the absolute easiest model to do from outside the United States while still marketing to the US market, which is, again, sort of that path of least resistance, the biggest, most hungry market. One of the key differences, and this is something that we'll talk about this in a second, but we learned in Japan. I don't know about you, but I'm quite certain that almost every single, business opportunity course that you've ever taken starts with, first, pick a niche. It's like, okay, I'm kind of tired of that. I'm sure you're tired of that. And normally that's kind of where you start. You start with choosing a market or a niche and, build some branding around that, a website, a brand name, some sales collateral, that kind of stuff. And then you search for products within that niche. Nothing wrong with that, okay? But it can take a lot of time to get that done and to make sure you get that done correctly. And then plus, God forbid, you sort of pick the wrong niche and you've kind of done all this work and you're sort of like, you're kind of stuck with it unless you want to go back and start over. But what we're doing here is we're focused not on niches, we're focused on products. So we don't care so much. We don't do market or niche research. We use these simple, scalable websites, and we focus on these mega stores where we can sell any type of product. I don't care what it is. The key issue is it profitable? Is it going to make us money? I just don't care what it is. And this model really comes from Japan, and a company that we've been researching and reading about for a couple years now. And we finally went to Japan, and we said we're going to sort of reverse engineer this. It's a very large company, brick and mortar company called Don Quixote in Japan. And these guys make billions of dollars every year. It's one of the most successful retail operations in Japan. And they sell every single type of product you can possibly imagine. Going into one of these stores is like one of the ones we went into in Tokyo. I think it was 9 floors. And there wasn't an inch of shelf space that wasn't covered with everything from towels to TVs to trench coats to Tamagotchis to, absolutely anything you could possibly think of. And they have a really unique way of doing things. They load up their storefronts with these different products. Now, mind you, they apply some metrics. They don't just put anything in there. They have, some metrics that they look at as far as market demand and margins and availability and all that sort of stuff. And they load up their storefronts with these different products. They see what sells. They place the best-selling products in the more visible places, and they just get rid of the ones that don't sell. And they just sort of continue to do that. Add products, test, replace, optimize their positioning, and boosting their sales and increasing their profits until they have a store just kind of stacked full of crap that makes them money. And it's an elegant model that's fairly simple. It's a little bit complicated to do with brick and mortar, but boy, when you apply it to online, it is so much easier. So we were kind of reverse engineered this model and brought it online, and we're able to test these products in multiple niches all at the same time. And then we get this traffic method to immediately position the products at the top of search engines for the most profitable keywords. By the way, we do that without even having to know what the most profitable keywords are, which I swear I will tell you how we do that shortly. And we're able to target people who are actively looking to buy and get this instant buyer traffic, and then just get rid of the ones that don't sell and keep the ones that do. So what do you think you get at the end of that? You get an online store full of products that all convert to sales and profits. And it takes, like a minute to set this thing up, and then, you get traffic immediately. You can test fast. We'll show you one slide of a beta tester who, the first day made hundreds of dollars in sales, and that's very much the norm, and it's fast. We make money almost instantly, and then we scale. And there's no market research, no product creation, no inventory, no messing about with Facebook and Amazon. Look, this is what we're talking about. This is the order of magnitude. Here's a couple of test stores for the month of November. 30-day sales periods, over 4,000 orders, 4,500 orders in each, 354,000 in sales in one, 260,000 in another. These numbers are, I know they're crazy during, stuff like this, but I don't know how else to say it. They're attainable, they're doable. One of the key points is that, why would you want to just sell one product in one niche when you can, this is the Don Quixote method, right? Sell 50 profitable products in multiple niches and make 50 times as much money. I've been talking a while here. Just give me a yes or a no. If this is making sense, just give me a yes or no. You don't have to tell me anything. Okay, yes. Somebody said, somebody was saying Christmas sales. Yeah, absolutely. We just had to, we were doing this prior to this, so it just kind of worked out that way. So yeah, definitely sales are going to be better during the holidays for sure. But cut it in half. Still, which it's not that much of an impact. So thanks for that, by the way. That's super helpful. It looks like everybody's kind of on board. So what do you need to get started with this? You kind of need three things. You need a platform that converts, so you need a website, a shopping site, whatever you want to call it. You need products that you can sell, and you need that traffic source. So what we've done is we've been spending our time putting together the best practices, of a site. If you start from scratch, you got to worry about, all right, well, what colors should the site be? What buttons should be on there? How should the fonts look? How should the descriptions look? Where should the pictures be? Where's the add to cart button? All this kind of crap. What we've done is we've gotten rid of all of that. So we essentially have, a theme or a foundation, a structure. You just push a button and there you go. The store's ready. It's ready for you to then do the next thing, which is find products. And we're going to talk about this, but the bottom line is we want to get rid of all the roadblocks and everything. So we have all the products. So we have a database right now of about 3 million products. And we'll talk much more about this shortly. But you're also going to see how we wanted to go one step further and give you 5 products. So that you don't have to worry about this, and you don't have to worry about picking the wrong products or anything like that. We're going to talk a lot more about that because it's really, really key. You're also going to see how valuable 5 products can be, and I'll show you that in just a second. And then you're going to launch your campaign, your traffic source, which is super, super easy. You're going to pay for very cheap clicks that you absolutely know will turn into a profit. And I'll discuss the traffic in just 1 second, okay? And then, it's just about making sales and profits, optimizing the campaigns, keep testing the products. You're going to have an endless supply of products. So you're going to end up with, these high converting products that make you the most money. And, it's just really about rinsing and repeating at that point. Finding these additional products. You can go from 100 a day to 1,000 to 2,500 beyond. You can build more stores. You can do this in a bunch of different ways, which, obviously we'll show you. But just to give you some idea about how valuable these products are, okay? And like you're going to see a couple of case studies, and these are not product catalogs of 50 products. It's like 3 different products, that make up the sales. So, but if you can sort of think through like the scale here and the order of magnitude, you got one product that makes 12 sales a day, which is, very, very reasonable, and, about $70 a pop, if you find one of these products each month out of a database of 3 million, and that database is increasing every single day, and we're going to give you 5 anyway. So it's not really hard to find 3, especially because we're giving you 5. But anyway, if you find one, 12 sales a day, you're at 840 a day, just like that. Month 2, find another one. Month 3, find another one. And, pretty soon now you're at 3 products, 12 sales a day at $70, and you're at, over $2,500 a day. It's pretty easy math, and it's pretty easy to see and understand and scale. And this is the kind of thing that is happening with our beta testers. So let's talk about the traffic source, because we've been alluding to that. And we use the shopping platforms. It's the biggest secret that is hiding out there in plain sight. And the reason, I've talked a little bit about this, but I love these next couple slides because they really encapsulate what I'm talking about here. It is insane the amount of power, right? I keep talking about this, that we have as marketers for traffic. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. But the complexity is off the charts. Facebook is insane. There is so much to learn there. 11 different ad types, 28 ad positions, 9 different call to action buttons, split tests, pixels, lookalike audiences. I mean, it's crazy to try and learn this. You'll spend a year learning it, and then the minute you're an expert, what will happen is Facebook will make changes, which they do every single day. And then I'm not even talking about the graphic design and copywriting that you need. I mean, look at the ads that you're starting to see in your Facebook newsfeed. These are not done by people like me, who suck at graphic design. I can probably make my way through the copywriting, but God help us if I'm responsible for graphic design. Every single one of them looks like they were created by an MBA guy who's been doing Mad Men advertising for 20 years. Colleges are offering entire degrees in social media marketing. This has just really been a big change in the last few years. The game has completely changed. And then let's talk about SEO, for crying out loud. And by the way, this applies to both AdWords and Facebook. And if you look at SEO, I mean, look, let's say you want to learn SEO. Great, buy that book. It's 1,000 freaking pages. And oh, by the way, the minute you get that book, it is out of date. Because one of the dirty little secrets is that Google doesn't even know what their algorithm does anymore. They really don't. They really do not. They can change it, they can modify it, but at the end of the day, the results, the search engine results that they get are actually, they're sometimes a surprise to them. And Facebook, has really swung the pendulum here with being, protectionist, and is closing accounts, and much like AdWords back 10 years ago, which has changed dramatically. I mean, look, here's Aiden. Aiden just got his account closed. Now, what did he do? Who the hell knows? Who knows? There's no real written rules because they're changing it every minute, so fast. So these are all the challenges that we're faced with. But the Google shopping and Bing shopping platforms and a couple other of these shopping platforms, they're hilarious. All you do, right, is you say, hey, I've got one of these to sell. That's it. That's it. You don't have to do, these ad types, ad positions, call to action buttons, split tests, keywords. You don't even have to do keywords. No pixels, no split tests, no lookalike audiences. Everything. What you basically do is you end up like this, okay? And you say to Google, look, I got one of these things to sell. I don't understand all the complexity of this whole advertising thing, so do me a favor. Could you please just show my product when you think people are looking for it? And if you think about it, that is the best thing to do, because that is the one thing that they do really, really well. I am certain that everyone that can hear my voice has had the experience where they start to type something in Google and it's like, holy shit, Google knows exactly what I was looking for before I even got 2 characters typed out. They just nail this, and then Bing just copies everything that they do. But they know. I don't care what you type in. You could have typed in HAP, and they would have already known that you actually were looking for a hamster cage. And it's a conversation for another day, but it's because they know absolutely everything about us, and there's no privacy left in the world. So the reason why this is so revolutionary, right, is because it gives you all the good, much like the whole theme here of the evolution, right? It gives you all of the good, right? You get all the traffic, you get cheap traffic, you get highly converting traffic, good commercial intent, easy, fast, you get all that without the complexity. And you basically just say, yeah, Google, could you just please take care of that for me? It's amazing. You don't have to copyright, you don't have to do graphics, nothing. So I don't want to say nobody's using this. Of course, people are using this, but it's not very sexy. Google does not make as much, anywhere near as much money on this, so they don't talk about it. It just quietly lives in the background. And you know, the most successful e-commerce people take great advantage of it. So it's just kind of hiding out there in plain sight. So look, this is just some things to think about. This is kind of a one-time setup. You know, it's quick and easy. You set up your store, and then from there you can, and we'll show this later on, you know, you can just push buttons and test out products. It's very, very easy. You don't need to talk to customers. You never need to see or handle the products you're selling. You know, maybe a year from now you want to. You know, I mean, you want to increase your margins. Maybe you want to go from 40% margins to 60% margin because you already know you sell 20 of these a day. You're going to buy 5,000 of them. You're going to get your warehouse. You're going to, I mean, so it's not that you don't, it's not that you never can. It's just that you don't have to. And that's the beauty here, is that we're, again, think about, we're trying to solve the problems that we've introduced in the past and not introduce any new ones, okay? And then the traffic solution, you know, I kind of beat that to a dead horse, but dead horse here. But, you know, it's something that, you know, if you're using Facebook, you don't have a freaking clue what you're ultimately going to pay for traffic. And it's really a hope-based strategy. No traffic issues, no risk, very low competition, very high profit, very fast results, no supplier headaches. I mean, and you only need a few products. We've got a lot of stories. You know, what we do, we always do this, right? So our model is we test things, we build businesses. Everything that works, we end up teaching because we love to teach, you know? And believe me, there's plenty of shit that doesn't work that you never see, because why, we're not going to teach you that. But one of the things that we do before we teach it is we get together a small group of beta testers. And we have to make sure that not only does it work for us, but it works for others, and that we can train people and we can, you know, results are reproducible. So, you know, one of the early ones was JB, and we helped him get his site up, and you know, showed him our product strategies and gave him the traffic strategy, let him run with it. And this was his first 14 days. So almost $17,000 there. So you can see all the gory details. Okay, very, very. And for people who are going to talk about returns at some point, that's an even lower return rate. Usually you see around 1%. We'll talk about that during Q&A, but very, very small, very small. So incredibly impressive. I'm sure that everybody would like to have their first, you know, 14 days look something like that. Got another beta tester here. This was the first day, $316.13. Now, that's not going to blow you away. That's not going to be life-changing. But I tell you what, the person who makes that on the first day is going to stick with it and get to their day 6, and that's going to be a $1,300 day, and their day 30, and that's going to be a $2,174 day. And look at this. This is the same beta test, 10-week test, 141,000 in net sales, 154,000 in sales, 13,000 returns, 141,000 net sales, and a very, very high profit margin in this case, $70,000. And we're talking about 3 products, guys. And this is today. Well, I think this is actually like 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. So about 2 days ago, and $2.16 thousand. And that's with the same 3 products. It's just mind-blowing.
So, guys, give me a 1 in the question box if this is making sense to everyone so far. I want to make sure that that we're not going, losing anyone here. Give me a 2 if it's too complicated. And just, I should add that we've had so many questions rolling in. Keep them coming. We're doing our best behind the scenes here, but we do have a huge audience on. So if we don't get to your question immediately, it's not that we're ignoring you. We're just we're just battling to keep up here. So, okay, cool. Looks like you're getting an idea for how this works. Now, just before I continue, I've got built into the slides some examples of different products and stuff here, but I can sort of go off script a little bit if you'd like me to. Give me a yes if you want me to sort of leave the slides and show you some more in-depth look at one of our websites, one of these tester websites that's absolutely crushing it. I want to make sure at least half of you give me a yes in the question box if we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, okay, the yeses are now pouring in. Okay, fantastic. So let me just come up here. So this here is what the sort of website homepage looks like. At the top, we've got a couple of featured products. Further down, we've got sort of categories. And one of the things you'll notice is that we're not just in one category. We do sell in these types of stores. We do sell, kitchen appliances, gadgets and gizmos, home furniture, things for pets, things for the outdoors. It's not just one specific niche, and that's a huge advantage. Here is drilling down into the drones category on this particular store. You can see, look at some of the different drones that the store is selling and the prices of them. These are not things that are $10, $15. And one of the reasons that we can sell higher priced products is because this is not interruption driven traffic. This is high quality traffic who are actively seeking to find these things. So that's another huge advantage. We can sell higher priced items, again, without needing to buy any inventory up front and get higher margins. This is sort of down towards the bottom of the website. We get get into some more of the reviews that people have left. And then this product here is one of the ones that we've made, this website's made a lot of sales with. It's a drone, sells for 69 bucks. And if we come in to the dashboard here, you can see this is a couple of days ago, or a few days ago, over $2,000 in one day. This is the last 7 days. You can see $9,800 in the last 7 days. The last 90 days, look at that, $156,000 in the last 90 days. And then this is yesterday, 1,562. So, this store sort of, goes between, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, sometimes above 2,000 per day, and works on around about a 50% net margin. So it's a pretty exciting store. Give me a 1 in the question box if you'd be pretty happy, even if we could show you how to build something that would earn just 10% of this. Give me a 1 if that would be, yeah, right. I think most people would be pretty happy with that. You can see in the last 90 days, $156,000, and again, that would represent around about $75,000 net profit, all said and done. So that's a bit of a look on the inside, and hopefully you found that useful, and that's really what's at stake here. So the critical points, JB, like other testers, had no prior experience with this system before he got his website up and going. It took him less than an hour to get set up, made money on the very first day, quickly scaled to $2,500, and just imagine 10 weeks from now being able to be earning $2,500 per day and making a profit of upwards of $1,000. I mean, that to me represents life-changing income for most people, and that's exactly what we're talking about here. And heck, even if after 10 weeks you were only earning 10% of that, I think most people would be pretty happy with 250 bucks a day. That's pretty close to $100,000 a year. So that's what we're talking about. And finding just 3 winning products per year could equate to 850 grand per year, with your average profit margin being 50%. So if you're doing 850 grand a year, that represents $425,000 in profit. That's cash in the bank. So give me a yes in the question box if you can see the potential here. I really want to hammer this home. Just a couple of products can make you, thousands of dollars per day. That's how this works. And by the way, we haven't even spoken about this, but you can cash out whenever you want to. Here are two websites that we've sold. That first one up the top there, we sold for $921,000. $921,000. You can see the date when the money was deposited into the bank account. We got an $800,080 deposit in there on the 20th of June. Here's another one that we sold, $544,000 is what we sold it for. We got a $300,000 deposit. You can see the different terms. So in this one, we got a $300,000 deposit, and then the rest was paid out, in installments according to the contract. But the point is, how you can build real assets here that you can sell on. Give me a 1 if you would be pretty happy with selling a website for 6 figures. Now, silly question. I know it's a silly question, but I really want you to get you thinking about this, because this is what's possible when you're building real assets, and we can build these things at speed. That's part of, speed and scale are the name of the game here. So the question you're probably asking right now is, can you really do this? And the answer is yes. And here's why: because over the past 12 months, we've been working with a small group of these beta testers. Steve spoke a little bit about these people with no previous experience, and training them up, and they've been getting astonishing results, $128,000 in a single month. These are regular people that are getting life-changing results. As Warren says, I followed Steve and Aidan's training together with my brother, and the business we started went to 7 figures in the first year. Jansen says, after working with Steve and Aidan, I was able to build internet-based business from zero to nearly $100,000 revenue within the first year. And then, the stories go on. We rocketed to what is now a multi-million-dollar business. Aidan and Steve, genuine interest and invaluable input along the way are greatly appreciated. These are just regular people, and there's lots more faces here, and because we've helped hundreds and hundreds of different people. Then we've got Mike, who's built his business from nothing to over $1 million in sales using our training. Brett in Australia, who says Steve and Aidan deliver in bucket loads and genuinely care about the outcome for their students. You got Scott, who went from $10,000 to $100,000 per month in the space of 5 months once he started working with us. And we want you to be the next success story. We get a real kick out of helping people like you, and we are absolutely certain that you can do it. And this is why we're so excited to have the opportunity to show you how to do it. And we've put together a complete package of training, tools, and hand-holding support to give you everything you need to change your life with this amazing system. And I'm pretty excited right now, and proud as well, to introduce the Kibo code. This is a revolutionary and radically different system that we use to generate up to $76,000 per day. Now, in Japanese, Kibo means scale, and scale is the name of the game here. Scale and speed, being able to start from zero and hit $100 per day, scale to $1,000 per day, to $2,500 per day as quickly as possible. And everything you need to do this is included in the Kibo code. So we've got 7 core components, and I'm going to walk through here. The first is called Central Intelligence. Central Intelligence is the core 8-week training designed to specifically fast-track you to expert level. It's the A to Z guide of each area of the system and how to start from scratch and begin making money. So we've got step-by-step videos, strategy manuals, live weekly webinars, mind maps, and much, much more. It's truly exhaustive with no stone left unturned. You're going to see how you can turbocharge setup so that you can see income in as little as 48 hours of being live. Now, all the training will be delivered directly by us along with our team of experts. The Central Intelligence has got a value of $9,997. StoreStorm is next, and StoreStorm gives you speed and execution. I keep saying it, speed and scale are the name of the game. And what StoreStorm lets you do is build the perfect error-free store with the click of a mouse, saving you time and headaches. It will help you convert your traffic into customers on autopilot using our rigorously tested proprietary ThemeX setup, which is built on the back of hundreds of split tests and over 4 million visitors. This is pretty impressive. If website creation and building landing pages has been something you've struggled with in the past, these headaches will be completely eliminated. All of our experience, expertise, and infrastructure is poured into this. This has got a value of $6,497. Component number 3 is Profit Vault. Now, Profit Vault will let you pinpoint the highest quality, most profitable products to sell from a gigantic in-house repository of over 3 million products. You can analyze tens of thousands of products in a matter of seconds. You can suck your chosen products right into your store effortlessly at the push of a button with zero technical know-how. We've eliminated all of the boring, time-consuming, and quite frankly, risky product research. This is going to save you days, even weeks. Now, again, this is about speed and scale. This one's got a value of $4,997. Guys, I'm going to go off script again here. Now, if I can get enough of you typing yes in the question box, if half of you give me a yes in the question box, I'll go over and actually give you a tour of Profit Vault and show you how it all works. So let's see, just I'll give you a chance. Type yes in the question box if you want to go and have a look at this. Otherwise, we can stay on the slides, and that's also fine. Yep, okay, lots of yeses rolling in. So here we go. So Steve, I don't know if you want to chime in here, but this is the inside of one of these amazing tools that we've built, and we're inside this picked for you section.
Yeah, no, definitely. How I love software demos. So keep in mind, guys, we're on our development environment here because so this is all test data, so the pricing and stuff is not accurate because we're in the middle of migrating huge databases, 3 million, into our production environment for you guys. But it'll give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Now, there's a lot that we could share here, but I think we're going to focus on products because, like building your store is sort of anticlimactic because it's like, okay, push a button. So we're not going to do that, but we're going to focus on products. So here's the concept. We've got a sub database. So we talked about this 3 million products and so on. But separate from that, we've essentially carved out the cream, all right? We have curated manually products where we can give each of you 5 of these products, and they are the best out there. We have picked less than or about a half a percent of every product we look at makes it into the cream. And that doesn't mean that the rest of the products are shit, quite the contrary. What it just means is that, again, we are trying to get things moving for you as fast as humanly possible, okay? So the way you're going to do this, it's a little bit of a nice, fun game. There's no advantage to getting in here and being able to do it sooner than someone else because they're all good. Remember, this is all cream. And you're going to be able to look at products and, Ian's kind of looking at them now, and you can, you'll be able to click that plus button and you'll be able to add it to your stable of products. And once you pick it, it will no longer be shown to anyone, okay? That's yours. And you can pick 5, and then if you go into your products, you'll see that they'll start to hang out there. And from there, you'll be able to publish those, right to any stores that you have, which you can have, multiple stores. So the idea is you find your products that you want to play with out of the cream, and then you'll be able to get those 5. They will be yours. They will be in your stable. And then if you go over to products, Aiden, and you go into the product analyzer, now here's when we start to get into the database of 3 million. Now, keep in mind, again, there are 2 things to note here: lots of test data, lots, nothing that's meaningful in here, and there are also other search criteria that will be in here in production that we didn't necessarily want to talk about right now, just because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole and try and train everybody on things. But it just gives you an idea of what's possible, and then from here you'd be able to also add these to your products, and they all show up, right in your products, and the ability to click and publish. So hopefully that gives you like just a quick, there's a lot that we could talk about, but product-centric look at the kind of tool set that we're talking about and the whole way that we're talking about making this just easier for you.
Yeah, and I think one other thing just to keep in mind there is that being able to slice and dice products and filter out the ones which are absolutely the cream of the crop in a matter of seconds. I mean, if you were doing that manually, you could do it manually, but it would be, finding a winner would be like finding a needle in a haystack, whereas here we've got a tool which automatically pulls all the needles out of the haystack all these golden little products, and you can find these little nuggets of gold and publish them immediately. So that's one of the real key things here. Now, just to recap, component number one was the core 8-week training. That's a central intelligence. The second component was Store Storm, which gives you the speed and execution to create these perfect error-free stores at the click of a button. Then we've got Profit Vault. We took a quick look inside our amazing repository just a few moments ago. And the fourth is the traffic black box. Now, every last secret we know about this uber lucrative shopping platform traffic that Steve spoke about is shared with you in this part of the Kibo code. It's a step-by-step, you're gonna get a step-by-step action plan that'll get you reeling in dozens of customers and hundreds of dollars every single day, even if you failed miserably at generating any kind of traffic in the past. You're going to find out how to completely and permanently obliterate the old traffic hurdles that most people have faced, see how to get dirt cheap clicks and vastly higher profits without having to write any ad copy whatsoever. And you're even going to get learn how we use Kibo funnels to double or even triple your sales. This has got a value of $4,997. Component number 5 is Oracle X. This is about more big shortcuts, custom built tools to improve store performance, to help you make more money per visitor, software to increase credibility and user experience, additional systems to accelerate profits and triple the rate at which you can build your business. And again, what we're doing here is not only helping you make more money, but saving you money as well. We spent 8 months, over $200,000 in developing Oracle X. It's got a value of $6,497. And the handpicked products. Steve mentioned a moment ago, we're giving you 5 unique handpicked products to get started. These are genuine money-making products. They will remove any guesswork on your part. As we've shown you and as we've been talking about, you only really need 1 or 2 products to make a lot of money. I mean, 3 products could be generating $2,500 per day. We're going to be giving you 5 just for good measure. We can do that because we've got an enormous database of products, unlike anything that has ever existed out there for these types of products before. So again, the handpicked products, the name of the game here is speed and scale. We are helping you get results faster and helping you scale by giving you a huge shortcut with these 5 handpicked products. And then component number 7 is the Kibo Academy, exclusive members-only community and support desk, multiple avenues of assistance so you can get questions answered, even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning. We've got a private email-based system which will be manned 365 days a year, rapid response help desk where our team of expert coaches will be on call. We've literally helped thousands of people build successful online businesses, and we can help you solve any problem that you may have. And just to reiterate that first point, we will have an amazing community where you can interact with your other Kibo code members as well. This has got a value of $1,497. So as I hope you can see, this is ultra comprehensive training. It's not just training, it's tools and software to help you every step of the way, literally everything you need to start making money using this system immediately. And anyone can do it, even if you've only got just 5 or 10 hours per week. You can get started and you can start making money with this. Now, brace yourself, because we've got something even more exciting to talk about, which we haven't mentioned just yet, and that is that as a member, you're also going to get a free all-access pass to Kibo 2020, our live event. Now, this is 2 days face-to-face of exclusive live sessions with insider training, tactics, and strategies. You're going to hear from expert speakers, some of whom make $10 million per year, secrets for doubling, even tripling your revenue and profits, proven tactics to dramatically increase website traffic, actionable growth strategies that you can apply with immediate effect, breakout sessions. There'll be plenty of content, training and help for everyone. And you're going to come away from this armed with a treasure chest of secrets and strategies and quite frankly, a true competitive edge. You're going to leave the event feeling inspired and excited, equipped with a wealth of knowledge, and you're going to be able to make a lot more money because of it. Now, if you're unable to come to the live event, which will be held in the United States, don't worry, we have a solution for you. And I'll get to that in just a second, because if you become a Kibo Code member today, you'll get exclusive access to 3 special bonuses. These are very limited. and they require that you take action today. The first is the Kibo 2020 live event recordings. So again, if you can't make it to the live event, as long as you jump in today, you will get all of the recordings, so you'll be able to watch them from the comfort of your own home. You'll also get a secret mastermind. Now, this is where we'll dive into advanced workshops with additional tactics, formulas, and strategies. And then bonus number 3 is 7-figure scaling secrets. This is exclusive training revealing how to scale your business to a 7-figure run rate. It's got a value of $4,497. Now, over the years, Steve and I, we've helped and we've seen people get to 6 figures, but people seem to struggle to really kick on to 7 figures, and that's what this bonus is all about. So remember, this requires absolutely no experience. If you can read, if you can watch, then you are already overqualified. We provide all the the websites, tools, instructions, and training that you could possibly need, and we've done all of the heavy lifting, making this just as streamlined and as push button as it could possibly be. The obstacles are eliminated. There are no traffic issues. There's very low risk. There's virtually no competition. You get very high profit margins, rapid results, unlike anything we've seen before, and there are no supplier headaches. Plus, you only need 1, 2, 3 products, and you can be making $2,500 per day. This is the perfect opportunity for people who are struggling to make money online, or people who are looking for a realistic way to supplement their day job income. Online business owners who are already making a decent income but want to make a lot more. It only requires 5 to 10 hours per week. So it's something that you can add into what you're already doing without it being a major disruption in your life. Now, we've spent 10 years helping thousands of people, and we've seen that when people succeed online, it can give them unlimited family time, and how much free time would you like to have each week? A secure retirement. By the way, how much money do you need for that? Would one of these products making $1,000 per day, would that be decent for a secure retirement? I think for most people it probably would. Or the chance to be your own boss and work from home without an alarm clock. This is something that I cherish every morning when I wake up and I'm able to see my kids multiple times during the day, or to give your kids the opportunities that you never had. Look, the bottom line is you get financial freedom that you've always wanted, the location freedom to be where you want to be, and the ultimate time freedom to live life on your terms. So what does it take to join us? The actual value of everything you're receiving here is huge. It's bigger than anything that we have ever put together in the past. If you were to add up those individual components, you'd get to $39,479, and we've got these extras in as well. The live event, which is going to be a complete game changer, the recordings, the mastermind, the 7-figure scaling bonus as well. The extras alone have got a value of $23,000. Now, the total value of the Kibo code and everything that we've packaged up for you here today is $62,967. And if you consider that just one website, one beta tester website, I might add, made $155,000 in the last 90 days, or how just one of our websites can make $74,000 in a 24-hour period, hopefully you can see that this is incredibly valuable stuff, and it really is unlike, I think, anything that we've ever seen or put together before. Now, there are 3 critical limitations. The first is that we can only accept a small number of people in. Coaching support takes time. Plus, we're giving you, don't forget, we're giving you, people that jump in, 5 products. So we have a strict maximum number of members, and we will shut down as soon as we hit that. We're going to start with the training on Friday, so we have a firm time deadline as well. We need to get you into the members area, get you up to speed and ready for the training. And then the third limitation is, we have no plans to ever reopen. We've not reopened any of our last 7 major training programs. We only do this once a year, and this is by far the most exciting that we have ever done. Once the doors are closed, they are closed. This is immensely valuable. You won't pay $62,967, and you won't pay $14,997 either. If all this does is get you to the point where you're earning just 10% of what one of the tester website makes, would that be worth paying $9,997 for? Hopefully you can see that it would. If just got to 10%, you can see that image on the left there. If you could make $10,000 every 60 days, would that be worth paying $9,997? Well, hopefully you can see that it would. Or if all this does is allow you to simply quit your day job or pay off your debts, live debt free, would that be worth investing $9,997? And hopefully you can see that it would. We've got mastermind students who pay $12,000 per year. And what you're getting today is beyond cutting edge. It's beyond anything we have ever done before for our mastermind or otherwise. The value is really, it is enormous. And we're not going to ask you for $9,997. We won't even ask you to pay $4,997. You can get complete access today for 4 payments of $997. In fact, you can get started for even less because we've got a one-time payment option of $3,497, which has got an instant discount of $491 built into it. So you've got the 2 different payment options, one payment of $3,497 or 4 payments of $997. You can see the link on the screen there, the kibocode.com/go. You can head over there, make your investment and get started immediately. You've got 0 risk. We've got a 30-day money back guarantee. And we know that you're going to be able to get results very, very quickly. So you're going to be able to know for yourself whether this is working for you well within those 30 days. And if at any time inside the first 30 days, if you just change your mind, if you just decide that it's not for you, or if you have some change in your life and you can't do this anymore, that's fine. Send us an email. We'll give you your refund. No hard feelings, no questions asked. You've got everything to gain here and nothing to lose. Now, you might be wondering, okay, great. I'm 100% covered for the investment in the Kibo code, but what happens if I follow the training, I do all the work, and I just can't get it to work? What guarantees are there? Well, we really are putting our money where our mouth is here, and we're doing something which is just unheard of, especially in this kind of a space, online business space. And we are doubling the guarantee on your investment. So as long as you follow every step of the training curriculum without deviation and actively use our support system and our tools and our resources, we guarantee to not only refund your purchase, but double your money back if for some weird reason you're unable to make sales in your first 60 days. So we are bending over backwards here. We're making sure that you are 200% covered. We will double your investment and give that back to you if you're unable to make sales using this system after you've been through the system in the first 60 days. So we've removed every little piece of risk that there possibly could have been. We want to change your life. We want to give you, make sure all the hurdles, all the roadblocks are removed, and we don't want anything to prevent you from giving this a try. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain here. But don't wait any longer to sign up. Remember, we are starting on Friday. Spaces will fill up fast and are only available on a first come, first served basis. We are very limited of the number, the number of people that we can actually help here. So you will need to move fast or you will miss out. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I know that's a cliche, but since I've been building my online business since 2005, I've never seen something that is as systematic, predictable, and reliable as what we're seeing here. Not just that, but it's explosive as well, because we're talking about speed and scale unlike anything that I've ever seen before. And now is the time to get into this, but you need to move fast because this won't be open for much longer. And as soon as we're at capacity, a sold out page will appear, and that link you can see on the screen there will no longer work. We're getting that link in the chat box for you now. That's where you need to go to make your investment. If you wait just one more day to register, you are risking missing out. You're risking, letting someone else get your spot. A technical issue, life, anything else could get in your way. And once the registration period ends, that's it. There'll be 0 extra people that will be allowed in. Now, we've got something called the Fast 30. Now, the Fast 30 is a special bonus pack with 2 extra items that you'll get if you're one of the action takers, the first 30 people to jump in here. So I can see people are already jumping in right now. But how this works is we're going to give you the profit calculator. This is a cool tool that shows you exactly how many sales you'll need to make each month to hit your income. It's a cool little tool, and you can use it to run different permutations, different sort of scenarios to see what they would look like. You'll get access to that, but you'll also get access as a Kibo tester. You'll be invited to participate in testing out cutting edge tools, cutting edge systems, and anything else that we come out with that we need testers for before we roll it out to the general public or the general group of members. So this is enormously valuable. You might have been wondering earlier, how do we find our beta testers? Well, this is one of the ways that we do it. So this is an exclusive bonus for this workshop for the first 30 people that jump in, and hopefully you can see why that has to be limited. So what we need you to do right now, if you're jumping in, I want you to comment "I'm in" the question box, or "in process" if you're still in process. If you've finished jumping in, type "I'm in." Otherwise, type "in process." And the reason that we ask you to type this in is because we need to know, what we do is we download the chat log later, and we can match up when you jumped in to make sure you were in the first 30, and then manually upgrade you to make sure you've got these special bonuses, okay? So that's how that works. So go ahead. I can see people are already typing in the question box that they are in, and I can see a few other people are in process. So if you're still in process, just type "in process" so that we can see that, then circle back to let us know once you have completed that. Okay, so Steve, I know you've been busy writing down some of the main questions there. Maybe we could take a couple, and then I think Brian was chomping at the bit to jump in there as well. But let's take a couple of questions first.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the questions I'm getting quite a bit of is, I really want a chance to answer it publicly because it's very hard to answer in the chat. I get this question like, well, what's the ad spend? And I get this question, and it sort of seems like people are expecting me to say like 10 or something. And it's just, I need to make sure that everybody understands, if you are making money, good money on your ad spend. So in other words, for every dollar you spend on advertising, you're bringing in $2, in money. Then what do you want your ad spend to be? I'll wait just a second. You want your ad spend to be like about $1 gazillion, or whatever is the largest number I could possibly think of, right? Because the more money you're going to spend on ads, the more money you're going to make, right? I mean, doesn't that make sense? So I guess the reason I get frustrated with that question is it's really not a good question. It's not a valid question. What's more valid of a question is to talk about margins, right? Because that'll give you some sort of order of magnitude. So let's use a real example. This is obviously not exact, but it's directionally accurate. So if you have a $100 retail price, a widget, a box, or whatever you're selling for $100, and I'm suggesting that the margins are 30 to 50%. Let's take the low end. Let's take 30%. It means you're going to make $30 from selling a $100 unit. So that further means you probably spent $50 to buy it. It's typical. So that means your ad spend to make that $30 in profit was $20. Does that make sense? So again, it's just really hard to answer that question, which I get a lot, and then people get upset, why am I not answering? It's like, well, I can't really say $10. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. So another question, and this was a great question that I had not gotten before, which shocks me. Besides the initial sales price to get into the Kibo code, how do you guys make money going forward? And it's like, well, we don't. So it's just because we, obviously we work this system ourselves. So, we've got our own stores and everything. So that's great. But we don't make money on an ongoing basis here on the backs of you guys in any way, shape, or form. Like, we don't get involved in taking any kind of commission on the products or your advertising, or nothing, absolutely nothing. And all these businesses are yours. So I think that's really important. A bunch of people were looking at some of the slides and, well, why does it take 8 weeks to explain this and make money? Yeah, it doesn't. We struggle with this all the time because we have a lot to say. We've talked about this before. We only do one training course per year. So what we end up doing is like massively over delivering, and we train on we basically train an MBA in internet marketing or building entrepreneurship and building online businesses over the course of a whole year. We don't stop training, but it's only a matter of a couple, 3 weeks by the time you can get enough training and enough resources and stuff to be making sales with this model. So no, you don't have to wait 8 weeks. And we don't really talk about all the other training that we do because it's just gonna confuse people, to be quite frank with you. So we just sort of surprise them when they get in and they're with us,
Hey,
Yeah,
I just wondered if Brian, if this would be a good time for you to jump in there, buddy.
Hey, Aiden, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Awesome. No, I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead, Stephen.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wondered if you wanted to chime in there, or not. Otherwise, we can just continue taking questions, and I can recap on everything.
Yeah, I can net. I've been texting with a lot of people, and obviously, along with you guys answering them in the Q&A box. But a bunch of a bunch of people are asking, fundamentally from a margin standpoint, um, are the margins? And I know that obviously the answer is it depends and it varies. But are the margins there that they can grow this? And you guys, I can answer for them. The answer is yes. I have a store, a Shopify based store where I haven't had the margins. I buy product from China. I run ads on Facebook and other places, and my margin isn't really where it needs to be. Any comment or anything you could add to that, Aiden or Steven?
Do you want to take that one, Steve?
yeah. So sorry. So the question is, how do you increase conversion rates? Is that basically the?
Well, no, it was on margins, just on profit per sale. They're like, is there enough money with the ad spend to make it worth it? I think is the net.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Well, not so many. There are a lot of variables, right, that go into um, conversion rates and whether you make money, right? So you've got the click-through rate on the ad, you've got the cost per click, you've got the conversion rate of the actual sale on the website, and then you've got the cost that you're going to buy it from. And so, a lot of times you can just affect one of those things and make a big difference. But, overall, there is just a ton of leverage to be had here between these cheap clicks, the traffic coming in and the great conversion of our theme X, and then the great product pricing, where you buy these products at the right price.
No,
So
no, and I agree. So Fenton, I was asking that for you, Fenton. So make sure that we hit you. And another one, Stephen or Aiden, was Jim was asking about suppliers. So when you help on their on the 5 products, do you kind of point them in the direction of where they would want to buy those products?
yeah, absolutely. In fact, we have special relationships. So here's one thing we didn't want to happen, right? What we didn't want to happen was, yay, you've got this great product. It was picked just for you. And then you go to the supplier and the supplier goes, yeah, I don't know who the hell you are. Get lost. That's not going to happen. We have developed special relationships with these suppliers, and we've said to them, look, and these are suppliers that we have spent tons of money on running this business model. And we've said, we just explained to them exactly what we're doing. We've said, look, we are going to teach this business model. You are going to have new customers that we want you to take care of. They're under our umbrella. Here's where they're coming from. Here's how it's going to work. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a problem where people are going to be surprised.
Well, real fast, you guys, I'm going to take 60 seconds. I know Bud Clark and John Bowers and a bunch of other people already purchased. Matter of fact, I've already given the bonus and got Bud taken care of. I put something together that I don't know about everybody on the call, but how many times do you get emails or you see it on Google where the marketers say, don't buy Kibo code unless you get my bonus because they missed something or they left it out, right? And it's a great scarcity takeaway kind of model. It's psychology. Now the truth is, I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, Stephen and Aiden didn't leave anything out, and there's nothing missing, and you don't have to buy from any one affiliate for you to be successful. What you have to do is commit that this is for you and make the decision. Only you can do that. What I decided to do, knowing that you don't really need extra stuff, but I know that when I do things, like I have a bunch of different online income streams, when I do them and when I'm new at something, I like a little hand holding, a little bit of help. It doesn't mean I need to be babied, but sometimes I need help. We all know how that goes. So I put something together where you don't really have to go through this process alone. And what I mean by that is you can join myself, Vanessa, and our team, And it's a little different than what we normally do. No Facebook groups, none of that stuff, guys. You're going to be able to connect in our private Slack channel, in our group, and you're going to be with myself, Vanessa, Tracy, Meredith, our whole team, and you're going to be able to get help from us when you need it. Now, that doesn't mean we're never going to replace the product or Aiden and Steven. However, I've got a lot of good things going. We almost hit 10 million last year. We know what we're doing. We've got some great strategies that we can help share with you. And when you get stuck on something that maybe the dots didn't connect right, we may be able to help you. You won't have to rely on the support desk. You may just be able to get help from us. And we'd love to do that for any of you. Obviously, you have the link. Aiden and Steven had put it up. I want to say one thing. As much as I love everybody, I encourage you, if passive recurring income in this model is appealing, to pick it up. Now, if you decide to pick it up from somebody else, it's totally cool. For me, I can only honor the bonus if you see Media Mash in your URL. So when you go to buy, like Bud did and John and several others right now, if you see in your URL Media Mash, then you're going to get the bonus. If you don't, you won't. But it doesn't mean you lose out. You just lose out on our bonus. That's all. I think it's a fabulous, fabulous product. And I think it's kind of the missing link. You guys know I've been doing e-com on the side. David Perkins and I were just chatting about it. I've been doing e-com for a while. And I started, let me see. I was looking at one of my stores. And I was just cracking up, guys. I have this store where I buy these shirts and jewelry, or I make these shirts on demand, and I buy this jewelry in China, and I target horse people. I have some horse lovers in my family. And I do okay. I mean, but I will tell you that the model that I was following is not the model you want to do. And it's why I haven't really invested a ton of time in these stores. But I make money on them. I can only tell you this. This is a fabulous, fabulous system that addresses, in my mind, some of the bigger weaknesses inherent with e-com, right? And a lot of you have bought the e-com products that have come out. I won't name all the names. I'm not here to do that. However, you know what's good and what's bad about those products. So what I love about this, it's US based, right? The Shopify, I hate to say it, but the no Amazon and no China. It's pretty cool. So what we'll do is we're going to take a few more questions for everybody here. You see the link. It's kibocode.com/go. Anybody that buys, you'll get the bonus. It's going to be a small group. You'll get some hand-holding. You'll get some personal attention. And just maybe you'll get the help to connect the dots if you get stuck. But I don't want you to leave this call or any other webinar thinking they left stuff out of the product or you need to get X, Y, and Z, because that's just not true. And I want you to know that. Very, very important that you do know that. So, Aiden, Steven, let me tee up a couple if you don't mind.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah, like there's let's see. Somebody asked about a payment plan. So there is a payment plan, Irfan, right? You asked about the money back guarantee. So the answer to your question, Irfan, was both. David Perkins, who's in LA, fabulous guy. He's like, all right, I just want to understand, do I store the products in a physical warehouse, either here or somewhere else, or are they shipped on my behalf?
Yeah, so definitely we're designed all around the drop shipping model. It's the easiest path of least resistance to get people started as fast as possible, and all of the suppliers and products are available for drop shipping. Now, 6 months from now or something, you're selling a ton, you may decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to increase my margins by another 10%. I'm going to buy 500 units and store them somewhere and fulfill myself or something. But or you decide, I don't care about making an extra 10%. I'm just going to spend more time at the beach. So, I'm not trying to suggest that you can never fulfill yourself or use warehouse operations or improve your supply chain. But the path of least resistance is what we're focused on.
I love it. So, guys, we have Steven and Aiden here. We just have a few more minutes for Q&A. Go ahead and give me a QQQ, just like normal, if I've missed your question. So, Fenton or Mario said he was in process. Rick Curry, he said in process. John in process. Bunch of other people in. So whatever your question is, hit me with it right now. I'd love to be able to answer it for you. Let's see.
Maybe in the meantime, Brian, if you like, I could do a quick recap of things, and that'll give people a chance to get their questions in.
Do you want me to shoot the screen to you?
So I'll just grab the screen back here for a second, and I'll jump through to where I can give people a recap. So we will be closing this webinar out in 5 or 10 minutes time here, guys. But I think it's important that you understand that what we're talking about here is building a lifestyle business, and that means different things to different people. I mean, these are some of the photos that represent what a lifestyle business means to us: time with our family, the ability to travel, to have some luxuries in life. Like Steve had always wanted to be able to have his own super yacht, and now he's got one. That's the kind of thing that a lifestyle business can give you, and this is in my mind definitely the best lifestyle business that I know of anyway, and that I've got experience in. And it works for people all over the world. This is JB in Argentina. He did 16 grand in his first couple of weeks, and it's changed his life. He says that he truly feels in control of his financial future for the first time. And we've seen this over and over again with different beta students who've come through. The scale here is it's really astronomical. And not only can you get money coming in quickly and sort of build that passive income, but you're building assets that you can actually sell. Here are a couple of websites that we sold, one for 921,000, the other for 544,000. You can see the deposits going into our bank account there. This is a real deal business. Works for people all over the world from all walks of life. All you need to do is take that leap of faith and jump in. And it can be scary when you're jumping into something new, especially if you don't know us, right? But we're here to help you. We've helped thousands of students over the years, and this is something that can work with you. It's very beginner friendly, as Hannah says there, and it can help you get results fast. Getting some of that instant gratification, getting runs on the board quickly is pretty important in my opinion, and this is going to allow you to do it. And you can make 2020 your breakthrough year with this product if you want to do it. And if you want to get different results to what you've had in the past, then you need to do things that are different. And this is one thing that I'm sure is different for everyone here. It's probably radically different the way that we do it. So that's one of the best ways that I know of to spur on radically different results. It's a chance to do something new and get new results in 2020. Now, I will just skip forward here to give you a quick overview. It's a very, very simple 4-step system. You install your store. We help you with that. We've got special software that will do that for you. You add products to your store. So first you have to find the products, and we've got an amazing database and a tool which will allow you to slice and dice that database and find the best products to add to your store that meet the margin that and all the other special criteria that you may have. And at the push of a button, you can put them in your store, as we showed you earlier. Then you turn the traffic on. We show you how to do that, and you make sales and profits. And then it's just a case of rinse and repeat. This is not rocket science. Anyone can do it. We'll get you to first making just 10 bucks a day, 20 bucks a day, 50 bucks a day, 100 bucks a day, and we'll keep scaling upwards from there. And everything you need to succeed is included here. We've got comprehensive training. We've got StoreStorm, the software to quickly install your website, and it does a lot of other things as well. The Profit Vault, this is the repository of products and the way that you can sort through them all and suck them into your store. The training on how we use this lucrative shopping platform traffic. We've got other apps and tools built into what we call Oracle X, which is designed to help improve store performance specifically, also for increasing credibility and user experience. 5 hand-picked products. Now, just 1 or 2 products could make you a couple of $1,000s per day, and we're giving you 5. These are products that have been vetted by us. We've been at them, we've looked at them, we've run all the calculations on them. We know that these are products that are going to work for you. And then you've got all the support backing you up every step of the way, and our live event that we're going to be running, and we would love for you to be able to attend that. Plus you're getting the bonuses, the recordings, the secret mastermind, and the scaling secrets. We've left no stone unturned here. We've given this everything we've got. We've poured an enormous amount of time, energy, and effort into this, and it will be a game changer for people who want to jump in. All of the obstacles, many of the common obstacles that have plagued e-commerce over the years have just been eliminated. The traffic is simple. There's no traffic issues. It's very, very low risk because you're not buying inventory up front. There's virtually zero competition in these shopping platforms. The margins are high. You get quick results and you've got no supplier headaches. You're not importing from China or anything like that. And look, you can get access by going to that link that you can see on the screen there. This is a great opportunity if you need to hit the reset button. If you're struggling online, if you want to do something different, this is something that can help you quickly get runs on the board, start making money, and it's fun. So again, we're giving you everything that you could possibly need here, and it's just up to you to take that leap of faith. Okay, we've helped thousands of people succeed over the years, and we can help you as well. I feel like you deserve this. If you're not already succeeding online, there are plenty of other people out there that are, and some of those people got there by fluke, just by chance. But what we've got here, it doesn't come down to chance. We've got a systematic approach, a recipe that you can follow. We're giving you all the ingredients and tools that you need. All you have to do is follow along, watch us do it, and do it in parallel with us. And that's what you're going to be able to do here. So this is an opportunity, I think. And another thing that I would urge you to do, this is what I do when I'm looking at new opportunities, is ask myself, what's the worst that could happen here? What's the absolute worst case scenario? And if it's not so bad, then jump in. So your worst case scenario is you come in and, in the first 30 days, if you're not completely and utterly, blown off your feet by how amazing it is, you can ask us for a refund and we'll do that. Or keep on working for up to 60 days. And if you're not making sales inside that 60-day period, well, we will double the money back to you that you invested. So we really are, eliminating any little smidgen of risk that you could possibly have. We're taking all of that for you so that you can jump into this feeling confident. Some people are afraid when new opportunity comes along, especially if it's something new they haven't done before, but that's fine. It's okay to be afraid. I would just urge you to go outside your comfort zone, jump in anyway, because when you go outside the comfort zone, when you do something new, that's when growth happens. That's when the magic happens. So look, this is, we're going to have to shut this workshop down soon. You can see the special link that you need to go to on the screen there. You've got an amazing bonus that Brian and Vanessa have put together for you. So I think that's going to be an enormous help. And we're going to be here with you, helping you every step of the way. But you need to take that leap of faith. You can do so feeling confident. If there is any question that we have missed, if there's anything that we need to say to make you feel more confident and comfortable about jumping in, let us know now, because we are going to be shutting this down in the next couple of minutes. And I want to make sure that you've got everything you need to feel comfortable about making an informed decision here. And I don't want you to not jump in just because we didn't answer one of the questions that you may have had. So Brian, I'm not sure if you saw any other questions in there for people that may have had concerns about this. I think we've got most of them already.
You hit all but a couple, Aiden. I saw a great one from David who asked about setting up multiple stores. If he wanted to have 2 different stores, would he be able to do that?
Yep, no issue. You can have as many stores as you want.
And no, David, so perfect. And then another question, I saw 2 people asking this. If I have 5, one person said 500, one person said 1,000 they called it seed advertising. Do you think that's enough to get started in terms of running ads?
Absolutely. You can get started. Yeah, Steve,
more
did
than
you want to
enough,
say something?
Irfan. So Irfan, that one was for you. Thank you both, Aiden and Stephen. And then another good one from Jim. If they're not in the United States, because you had some great examples outside of the US, can you target Canada and do Canadian suppliers as an example? Or is the model 100% based around leveraging US suppliers in our audience here?
So the model itself works for anything, right? All the the marketing training and how to set up conversions and advertising and stuff. But all of our suppliers and the focus on all of our product sources are all in the United States. So United States suppliers and fulfilling orders to US buyers. So it's a little bit of both, I guess.
All right, great. Any need for a reseller license? A couple people who jumped in are asking, do they need to get a reseller license to buy the goods from the various suppliers?
No, I actually saw one. Yeah, somebody even said, well, why don't you need a reseller license from these suppliers? So it's a couple things. One is, that we've negotiated deals with these suppliers and we have great relationships with them. And the other is that the idea of a reseller certificate is somewhat archaic right now. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's essentially a piece of paper from a state, the state where you live in, okay? And it simply says you are going to buy goods wholesale and sell them retail. The problem is that worked great before the internet, because people just did it within their state. So it all made sense. You got one from North Carolina and blah, blah, blah. Here, now you're getting one from North Carolina, but you're buying goods from somebody in California and you're selling it to somebody in Arkansas. It's like, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So what's happening is we're in this gray area and transition period where now there's just a lot of different state laws that are sort of taking the place of reseller certificates. So it's not a great answer to that question, but suffice to say you don't need them.
Nope, great answer. So I got a great one from Eric Gelder. Eric said, guys, I like it. Do we get access to all the training immediately, or is it dripped out over the 30 or 60 days?
No, it's going to be dripped out. We've got a path that we take. We do this all the time. And this comes from like the first course we ever did, I don't know, like 11 years ago. And we put hours and hours and hours of content in there. And I swear to you, on 5 minutes after, people got into the course, they emailed back, all right, I've been through everything. I'm done. Why am I not doing this? I'm like, oh, I give up. So no, we take everybody on a journey, and it's quick and it's great. And we do it together. And it also helps us modify things on the fly. People understand we've not offered this to the public before. So, there may be things that we need to clarify more. Maybe somebody's not getting this or whatever. And so we adjust on the fly. We change our training and our curriculum in between when we offer training sessions.
Guys, just to echo what Steven said, we see the same thing. What if I told you guys that 80-90% of the people jump to the 2 or 3 favorite modules and then they try to go the next day, but they really haven't been through any product? Happens all the time. So what about the store itself? One of you, I don't remember who, said it's kind of boring. It's easy to kind of get the store created. Jim wanted to know, how much time does it actually take for that part of the process, getting the store set up and customized out, if you will?
I mean, it's minutes. I mean, it's really silly. It's just, I mean, all it is, you're putting in a whole theme that basically has everything, and then you're adding a couple plugins. I mean, it's really.
So think of WordPress, Jim, on the amount of time it might take to set that up.
Yeah. That's
I would say it's even faster because of the software that we put together. It's
nice. Okay.
It's literally push button. Hey, Brian, we're going to have to wrap things up here. I don't know if you've got more questions, you could stick around, but we've got a hard deadline.
Why don't I do that? I know you guys. I realize we went longer than I said. So first of all, I want to say thank you, and I'm going to stay here and I'll take some additional questions for anybody that has them. I know it's a pretty tight group asking them, so I'll answer those to the best of my ability. Or Aiden, I'll team up in Skype or something and then get back to these guys.
Yeah, perfect. That sounds great. And guys, we do have a free gift for everyone as well, just for sticking around and being here with us today. You can see the link on the screen there, the kibocode.com/go gift. So you can check that out once you wrap up this call with Brian. And in the meantime, here is once again, the link that people can go to. So Brian, thank you so much for having us. Vanessa, thank you as well. Always great to hang out with you guys, and we'll chat again soon.
That sounds good. Thank you, Aiden. See you guys. Bye, Steven.
Thanks.
Bye.
Cheers.
All right, so everybody, so what we'll do is we'll stick around for a couple minutes, and I want to make sure that every question that I can answer, that I answer. Let me flip a slide up for y'all. Hang on one sec. And where's the screen? Hang on. I got cold. I had to put a jacket on it. I don't understand when it got so cold. There's something happened. Hang on. Let's see. Somebody was asking about my store. That's funny. Yeah, it's unimpressive, but I'm happy to walk you through that a different day. Let's see. let me put the bonus back up. So a few people asked about that. The whole concept, here's where the concept came from. And I have to tell you guys, and I bet most of you already know the answer, is when Steven answered that question about the content being dripped out. If you don't force people to go through and consume the content, 97% of them won't consume the content. It's pretty amazing. Vanessa sends me stats on different products and stuff on how many people even opened different things. So what we wanted to do was and it'll be a small group, you guys, so don't expect tons and tons of people, but we wanted to set something up a little bit different than we've ever done. So I'm doing the same thing and I'm building this. I'm probably going to build a couple, one to keep and one or two to sell. And what I'm going to do is, I've already done it. I think Bud Clark, who bought on the call, is already in the group. We created a channel inside of our Slack. And the whole point, it cracks me up, right, with some of these guys saying the product's missing stuff and whatnot. They're completely full of you know what. So product's not missing anything. We thought what's sometimes missing when you're a solopreneur or a smaller entrepreneur is you just need a little bit of help. And who knows what that means, whether it's with something with Shopify, something from the technical side, graphics, product questions, pricing, whatever it may be. There's a lot of things that may come up along the way. So we thought, while that's not missing, we know it's a nice value add-on. And so anybody that decides to come on board, I would encourage you to clear your cookies. The only reason I say that, and I usually don't say that, there's a lot of cookie stuffing and things like that. You should look in your URL and you should see Media Mash. If you don't see Media Mash, that means you won't get the bonus. You'll still get the product, and that's totally cool. However, we have to kind of hold fast to this so we can spend time with the people that do join with us. And almost every time we do something like this, we'll get 5 or 6 people that got some issue happen. And it happens. It's genuine. So let me go. Gary, I'll double check it. I'm sure that you're probably fine, Gary. And Irfan, if you have any questions, let's see. Some wisecracker said you're cold because it's winter. It's David Perkins. Of course it is. How did I know? All right. So questions. So David, you asked a question on sales tax. Let me present that one to Aiden in Skype, and I'll get back to you with a more specific answer. I don't want to give you my generic answer to your question. Now, Irfan asked a question, you guys, that was answered, but I want to bring it up again. How much additional seed traffic should I have available for ads is what he's asking. And I had one guy say $1,000, one guy say $500. Look, if you've got a few $100s, you're fine. You're going to be running at first small amounts, and you don't scale up your spend until you have something that works. So very important. I can't tell you how many times I see people come out and they want to spend all the money right away, but you can't spend all the money until, like when Steven said, you got to know that it's converting and it works before you increase the ad spend. Fundamental principle, right? Bud Clark, that's awesome. Gary said, Brian, you don't know cold until you live in Mexico in the mountains and your casa has no heat. And Gary, I did see that somebody from Mexico bought, so I'm sure you're fine. That's probably true. I can only imagine how cold that is. Yeah, setting up the store is so fast, John. Jim asked it earlier, and WordPress is pretty fast too, but it's automation. It bangs it out super fast. So if you need help on that, we'll help you in the Slack channel. But I mean, simple. It wasn't always simple, but that's part of the beauty of the system, is that some of those complexities are taken off the table, so to speak. Bud said Park City in winter is pretty cold too. No, Michael. So on the fulfillment side, the beauty of the drop shipping model is, hold on, you're not going to stockpile stuff. I'm trying to do, I have any box. I have one box in my office. Over there, I have a box. You don't have to do that kind of stuff. You don't have to store stuff. And yeah, you could, look, straight up, you could store products at some point and have better maybe a better margin, right? By having a warehouse with third-party fulfillment. I'm never going to run my own. I've tried it, and I've tried the third-party fulfillment with jewelry and then print on demand on shirts and stuff like I was showing you guys. It works. It's just I'd rather not pay for a bunch of stuff, have it shipped to a warehouse where it sits and I pay fees every month until I sell it. It wasn't for me. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does. I was making money every month, a few $1,000s. But the problem was I was grossing around 20K and making about 3 or 4K. It wasn't really that much fun for the money. And so I didn't like it. What I like about this is the less moving parts, the simplicity model. Yeah, Gary said the same thing. He said, Brian, I did an arbitrage store a few years ago. I made a few bucks, but what a pain. And that's where I was too. David, I'll take a screenshot or two and send to you. David's asking about some of the reporting and stuff. And I'll share it with anybody who wants. I'll have to get it in the morning and send it over to you, but I will send it to you. So let's see. All right, hang on. I'm skimming the questions. Yeah, so for a few of you that aren't in the US and you're asking about targeting other areas, you know what I would do right now? First goal is to make $3,500. That's your goal net to you. After that, it's gravy. Follow the model, copy the system exactly. Don't change it. Don't try to apply it to France. Don't apply it to South Africa. Johan, listen, do this in the US, copy the model exactly, follow along. You will make money. Here's the rub. Every single one of you will make money with this model. Everybody will make money. The question is, how much margin do you make on your deal, and how do you scale it? It's not will you make sales, it's how will you scale it? How do you get it from like $1,000, $2,000 to really go? That's the rub, right? One. And two, what margin are you keeping out of every $1,000? How much are you keeping in your pocket, right? So those two questions will be different for every person. By following the model, your odds of hitting a point where you can kind of escape just the low level profitability is much higher. So what else? Anybody have any, still a decent amount of people here. Looks like about 80 people left on the call. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them if I can. And if I can't, I'll get the answer and get back to you, and I'll make some notes here. A couple of people said, yeah, the traditional e-com model is a real pain in the fanny. And I saw that from a few people. So let's see. David asked a question about choosing products. Let me find it, David. David asked about sales metrics designed to help choose products. I'll share in the Slack channel kind of what we do, David. But and I'll also share a screenshot of the reporting so you can kind of look at it and see that. But a good question that David asked: can you set up multiple stores? The answer is yes. Why would you want to do that? A few people asked when you asked that earlier, David. So imagine you have a store doing 10,000 a month. Let's keep it all low numbers, right? And maybe you had one store that you really were passionate about for whatever reason, maybe like the products or something about it, but you had one or two others that you also built to this kind of leveling off point. You can sell those sites and walk away with some multiple of your net income. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty. Let's see. Trey. Is it Trey or Tress? I'm so sorry because the GoToWebinar's cut off your name. Was asking a question about returns. Yeah, now here's what Gary is thinking with multiple stores, you guys. One for him, or maybe more. One for his wife, which is exactly what I'm doing, Gary. And one for your daughter. So yeah, same thing. So I've got a 17-year-old in 11th grade, a daughter in college out in Texas, and then obviously Rebecca and I. So for me, all four of us could probably have and run stores with different products. And you know what? If my son in high school netted $1,000, $1,500, I'm happy. I'm cutting his allowance. I mean, I give him a couple bucks right now, but I'm cutting it. He actually does a lot of retail arbitrage, and for him, it's not a pain. He buys products and resells them on different stores, and he makes $500, $600, on a bad month, maybe 1,000 or so on a good month. This model allows you to kind of scale with that. So yeah, if you're selling in the US, you are going to have to pay taxes. 2 people asking about taxes. They're a very unfortunate evil, but a necessary one, and you will have to pay taxes, guys. If you followed at all the e-com saga with Amazon and taxes, Google Amazon and state sales taxes. So you can look at that and see what's kind of going on. What else? Hey, there's a bunch of people here. It's kind of interesting. There's a bunch of people I know and a bunch of people I don't really know. So for anybody that maybe isn't on a webinar on a regular basis with us, maybe you're not on calls with us, let me know where you're from and what you're working on right now, if you don't mind. I'm just curious, because then we can help answer questions and tailor things to you as well. There are a few people that I didn't know super well, and I appreciate you being here, obviously. And if there's anything we can do to get you questions or to get help from our team, because like David Perkins, I know how to reach out to him. I'm going to run down his questions, and then I'm going to answer them back. But let me know if you're not on calls with us a lot, you have a couple questions, go ahead and log them in. I can get your email out of the GoToWebinar, and I can write you back personally, and I'm happy to get you an answer for that. Irfan's in the UK. I suppose I can do this from the UK. Absolutely. Matter of fact, it'll be very, very simple to do from the UK. Let's see. Gary, who's in Mexico, said, hey, when I bought, my PayPal showed Kansas as my address, added sales tax. So I changed my address in PayPal, and boom, no sales tax with my purchase. Welcome to Mexico and the life of an expat. Very cool, Gary. I was on that marketer cruise the past week, you guys, and it's kind of interesting. I'm sorry I'm so cold. The AC is running in the building. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Let's see. Listen to this. I'm on this marketer cruise, and I'm talking to a few people doing e-com. Straight up, all these guys who do e-com, the traditional model, they will drop numbers at you like 100, 150,000 a month, and you're thinking, what do they know that you don't know? And it's funny because that's the gross. Their profit is super low, 25% at best, and lower sometimes. So just remember, when somebody claims something, I know you're used to, you have the air, you have that lens, right, to kind of think about it. Just remember, sometimes it's BS. Michael said, someone I know who is promoting this says you need done-for-you reputation, video ads with 3 months of Google traffic, Yahoo and Medium ads, which they say you need to be successful. So I could package a bunch of stuff like that too, but I'm just being honest with you. You don't need those things. You don't have to buy from us, but you really don't need those things to be successful at all. And I mean that not just about that person, but anybody. Listen, if you go on Google and you look up the product name, you'll find all these people. They're going to tell you they have the missing link. I'm willing to bet that 90% of them haven't even looked at the product. And it's not everybody, but a lot of those Google guys that say the same thing. Kim said, I'm looking to create a store that will benefit a nonprofit corporation. Would love some insight on that. So, Kim, would you actually create the store with a company that's registered as a nonprofit, or would it be you creating the store in your name or your business, and then the proceeds from you are going to go to the nonprofit? So how would you do it? It's two different ways. And I'm happy to ask. I actually have a meeting in the morning with my CPA, and I'll ask, and I'll give you a straight answer, at least in the US. So are you saying the second way, Kim, that it would be you creating the store and then you would have the proceeds benefit? Okay, perfect. All right, so yep. Somebody asked about handling the US sales tax administratively. So they go through that in the product, but I want to tell you, it's addressed. I have the product, and for what it's worth, I actually purchased the product because I wasn't sure that I was going to promote it. I knew the guys, but they give JVs like a quote unquote JV copy, but I knew that for me, I knew this kind of made sense from an asset standpoint. So some of you guys know I have an intern in the office, and he's doing a ton of work with traffic out of Pinterest. So we're driving a lot, 100,000 unique visitors a day, that kind of thing. Matter of fact, there's a few of you here that are in our beta group. I have some ideas on how to kind of combine that traffic from, let's call it free. It's really from content from Pinterest and driving that to a WordPress site, right? So I have some ideas on trying to harness some of that traffic flow at, in essence, a free cost, right? And we're going to work on that. Anybody who wants, I'll do a call where Brandon comes and we kind of walk through it. We're in the early stages with that beta group, but we're happy to share it with anybody. We'll put it in the Slack channel. John said, Brian, I just bought Kibo code. Yeah, it's a good question, and thank you, John. John said, what's your advice for a fast start? Straight up, and this is true on almost anything, but more so here, follow the training lockstep. I'm admittedly an ADD kind of guy, and I tend to jump around or try to consume the whole thing at once. Go through this thing verbatim, one step after another. Let me give you a case in point example. I did the Amazing Selling Machine. I never promoted it, but I bought it, right? It was an Amazon course several years back. I bought from a JV affiliate that was a friend of mine, and I immediately tried to consume everything and start on my own. Now, I didn't really know a lot about e-com, and you know where I got? Not very far. I ended up getting this guy that had sold it to kind of help me. He was successful, and he was doing really well, like north of 100K net revenue. And I then had my wife, Rebecca, go through the excuse me, guys. Sorry, go through the same system. Unlike me, she followed the simple instructions and went through it. She never really had any of the objections and hurdles I had. So in this case, on this kind of stuff, there's not a lot of moving parts, yet you really do need to follow the system. Let's see. Okay. So Irfan said, okay, been a long-term follower, Brian. I bought a few things over the years. I've been trying to help, and you're in the UK, aren't? I think you are. I've been trying to help local businesses, but I've done it on and off intermittently. I was ready to start in US flipping property, but my funds to do that aren't quite there. And his father is a landlord for a UK realtor. He's friendly there. Okay, yeah, that's a great place to start. He's looking to maybe partner with his UK realtor friend. Think of what you're doing in its simplest form, Irfan, is creating a virtual asset, right? And this asset may be a cheapy house making you a couple $1,000s, or it may be a high-end property, right? But these properties, after 24 months, I have the best bet. If you can build and maintain the property, generate revenue for 24 months, you will be able to sell it. I mean that. You will be able to sell it. I don't care if you only sell it for 5 or 10K, right? As an example. So one of the reasons I want to build multiple stores, to David's question, is I see a model, even on a site like Flippa, right? I see a model where with very simple monetization, I have the store teed up, making a little bit of money, and I walk out with 10, 15 grand. I'm not looking, home runs, right? And then I just have some of the team churn those out for me on a regular basis. And then I flip those, and that's part of the monetization model, right? And then obviously I want my main store. For me, I need 25 to 50 net income per month, like for it to be worth the time investment. And that's just everybody has a number, right? A goal. I don't need to make $1 million, but I look at this revenue stream as, can I make 20 to 50K net a month? If so, then I'm willing to spend time and resources on it. And if not, then I'm going to spend time on something else. And that's kind of how I looked at it. Let's see. Fenton, there's no additional cost to add store and store 2 and store 3. Let me show you something though. Hang on a second. Let me show you. See if I can find it. Give me one sec. I'm trying to find the website. So when you're using Shopify, right, as an example, you're going to pay a small fee per store. Now, this isn't fees paid to Aiden or their team or anything like this. This is basically for the underpinning technology, right? And this is just off the Shopify pricing page, you guys. So in theory, the answer to your question would be $29 to answer that. Okay. And Michael, yeah, I can, but it needs to be like right after this because I gotta. Amazingly, I'm going to dance tonight. All right, I'm skimming everything again. Anybody else? Sorry, I'm just skimming them. It's I can't remember what we've answered or not on these. I usually mark them. Yeah, somebody asked about my store. So what I was doing in Shopify, and I haven't been active with it for a while. I grew weary of, being honest with you, I grew weary. Here's the story. I grew weary of the BS. I make more money doing other things, right? So I designed this out, and I would make orders. These would get fulfilled just in time. These shirts and stuff. These I purchased in China inexpensively from a supplier, and I would store at a fulfillment house that was, I want to say it was in Oklahoma. I cannot, it might have been Utah. Where was it? Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Of course, when I want to find something, I can't. This is kind of how it goes. Let's see. Yeah, I had a guy. Yeah, so I was paying. Somebody asked me what was I paying. It was about $1.50. So it was about $1.50 for these things, and I was selling them for about $20. I don't recommend it, being honest. Not at all. So, what else? Yep, thanks, bud. Yeah, so there's what's cool. Think of Shopify like WordPress, except it has a little bit more support and tech. It's more of a business than say WordPress is. What I like about it is it just plain works. It makes anybody look polished. So what's cool is with the system, you don't really have to know how to do all this stuff. Between Shopify and some software that's included that does the setup, you don't have to know. Like if you're starting a new agency, you need to build your website, you need to design this, and this, right? You don't have to know how to do those kind of things at all. Now, things earlier, somebody, I think it was Michael, was talking about reputation. Like we've all seen, right? We've all seen on Amazon. Let's look up a product. How about any product ideas? Think of a product. I don't know what this is, but I clicked on it. You see this, how there's reviews. Yeah, and let me. Yep, that sounds good, Michael. Just text me, or I'll text you and just buzz me back when you're free tomorrow, Michael. I'll shoot you a message. Princess said, Brian, is this program good? And let's walk through this. It's a good question. Someone who is not familiar, who does not have a whole lot of knowledge selling products, opening stores, e-com, etc. So, Princess, I would say yes for a couple reasons. It's very detailed and very granular. So it's very step by step, as opposed to a lot of internet marketing courses. They make assumptions that you know things. For instance, David is on the call. He's in our beta test group, and he called me out. He said, Brian, Brandon, the guy on our team making it, you're making an assumption that the buyer knows all this stuff about Pinterest. And he was right. Like, we just completely missed it. We didn't really do a module on Pinterest 101. So I will say that the way this is laid out eliminates those kind of concerns. So if you've never done e-com, picked a product, sold something, made an ad, it's designed to get you to the point of success. Look, I'm going to be very honest with you. You guys will make money with this. Here's the rub on the whole program. The rub is, are you able to get it to scale? That's the rub. And there's no answer that I can tell you right now that's going to answer that. Because I've done a bunch of these little stores. Sometimes you find one that explodes and sometimes you don't. But it's not if you're going to make sales. I remember the first time I made an e-com store, I was so dubious. I made sales. I mean, like the first day, but I didn't make a lot of money. And it took me a while to figure out how to get the mix of ad spend right so I was profitable. So the nice thing is all those kind of complexities, Princess, are kind of taken out of the equation. Yeah, so Michael was asking, so yeah, we have a Slack. Somebody was asking about the bonus. So we have a Slack channel, and we've never done this. This is the first time we've ever done a bonus like this. And in the channel, I've added some of our team, right? Like for instance, I added Bud Clark. I got to get a list of the buyers, and then we're going to invite them in because in the affiliate system, it doesn't show who buys. So we really don't know who buys unless they give us a list. But I know those guys and they'll give me a list. So what we'll do is think of it, if you haven't used Slack, think of it like a more intuitive, nicer version than Facebook Messenger and Skype with all kind of cool capabilities. But in essence, it's just a communication platform. And what we want to do is work with people in the group because honestly, it's impossible to really do one-on-one work with, let's say 100 people, it'd be BS. So what we can do in there is collectively help address things. And sometimes the answer may be, let me put it to you like this. If you have a question and you reach out to them and they're slow to answer you, or I, who sold a lot of products for them in the last 3 years, ask them a question, they're pretty much going to Skype or call me back within an hour, almost every time. You're going to get the straight scoop a lot faster if I hit them up. And not just me, a few other people as well. But I promise you, you will get a real answer. And so sometimes I can help you. Sometimes Vanessa or one of our team. And sometimes the truth is we may have to go to them, but I'll be able to help you on that and cut through some of the BS. So good question. All right, Fenton, good luck on that. And let me know if you need anything. And if you want to, I know we don't talk all the time. There's my email, Fenton, if you want to drop me a line. Yeah, here's a good question from Jim. And Jim, I'm going to give you an answer. You're going to be surprised. Based on your experience on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this e-commerce course versus Email Cash Blueprint, which is a course I have for local business? I would say that Email Cash Blueprint is a better course for local business, honestly. And I am biased, so I'll be open and honest with you. However, it's the beauty of Email Cash for the business is it's very tangible, right? I send email, I get result. The beauty of this for you is you're building a long-term asset. You're doing that with Email Cash Blueprint too. Two different use cases. For businesses, I would say Email Cash Blueprint. For you, it'll come down to how you're able to work your internet marketing. So if your choice was, I can only do one of those two things, you have to ask yourself, are you the kind of guy that would prefer to kind of set up and scale in the manner that we show you in Email Cash Blueprint, or do you want to build a store that you might be able to sell? You can sell the Email Cash Blueprint business as well. You'll get a better multiple on the e-com business example. Cool. And I answered Gregory. Jill, I answered yours privately. And no, I won't read it out loud. I get a lot of questions where people say, don't read this out loud. And I'm always the worst because what do I usually do? I read it out loud because I missed that part. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I promise you, you can buy this from anybody. You can go bonus shopping and do all those kind of things. You don't listen. If you take away anything from this call, you don't want to listen to the guys that tell you that if you don't buy from me, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. If the product wasn't good, then you shouldn't promote it. Honest. Now, not everybody adheres to that. However, this one's pretty good. I've known these guys. I know that they're making money. I know they're making money with the product. I have an advantage because I actually do know them. Not everybody does. And I'm probably one of their top affiliates the last few years, me and a handful of other people. And so, we behind the scenes, we do some calls and chat. This is real. They are making money. This is serious. Now, I don't want you to, all they've done is simplify. They did not invent a new, like the electric vehicle, like Tesla, right? This is not rocket science. What they did is took this awesome yet confusing and fraught with peril process known as e-com and simplified it using Shopify, US suppliers, and drop shipping. They just simplified something that was already there to the point that majority of people will be successful. So I want you to know, you're not going to learn the secret to the Holy Grail, right? Or turning lead to gold in this product. What you are going to get is a simple, scalable model that I think you can follow. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm officially supposed to be somewhere at 7:30, and I will have to do that. I'm going to leave my email on a few of you. Just drop me an email, and I'm happy to help you. And anybody that was asking me questions, I'm going to send you my email, and you could drop me a line. If I don't know the answer, I'll get you the straight scoop, okay? And welcome, Jackie, as well. You know what, Jackie? Shoot me an email. Vanessa, are you on right now? She might not.
I am.
Did you see the link at the end when Stephen and Aiden were here and they gave away the free gift? Did anybody get the link? I can grab it in a second, Jackie.
Nope,
but if anybody happens to have it, I want to give it to Jackie, you guys.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat.
Okay, Jackie, we have it. Vanessa will put it in the chat for you. And all right, I'm just responding for anybody that I saw that had questions or comments, and I'll shoot you my info. Fam, I'll shoot you. I don't think you had a direct question right now. Trez, I got you covered. Okay, so I sent it to all of you guys. It was /go gift. There you go. All right, excellent. Perfect. See you, Scott. No, take care. Thank you, Clay. Lisa, I just saw your message. Hang on, let me send it to you. And Thank you, Jerry. And you should see it, you guys, in the chat. All right, cool. It's kibocode.com/go gift. Excellent. All right, everybody. With that being said, I appreciate you being here. I'm going to run an encore tomorrow, so if you have more questions, and I'll get answers to the ones that I didn't want to answer something if I wasn't 100% on it, but I'll hit Aiden up in a second. Those guys are doing a bunch of webinars, and they're having to jump around. So I'll Skype him, and he'll write me back, and then I'll answer those of you that had more specific questions. But either way, I appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you. Is great. Yeah, Greg, if you buy from that link, that's not us. It's a different link. But honestly, and I mean this with 100%, no matter who you buy from, it's still a good product completely. So just know that. If you want to buy from us for whatever reason, you would need to clear your cookies and make sure it looks like what's on the screen. That's all. And it just needs to say Media Match in the link. But please know, you do not have to do that. The product's a good product no matter who you buy from, regardless of what anybody else may tell you. Have a great night, and we will see some of you on the call tomorrow, and otherwise we'll follow up and hopefully talk to y'all soon. Thanks for everybody that came on board. Looks like a couple dozen people, so a lot of good questions, a lot of good feedback. We will see you in the Slack channel and look forward to getting started. All right, everybody, bye-bye.